It's one of the most inhospitable places on Earth, an icy wasteland where the average annual temperature is -57 degrees Celsius, where snow and ice cover more than 98% of the surface, and where no one lives permanently. I'm talking about Antarctica, the frozen continent at the bottom of the world. But what if I told you that 100 million years ago this frozen desert was actually covered in thick and lush tropical jungles? What if I told you that right now there are parts of Antarctica where scientists have found fossils of palm wood, freshwater fish and warm-weather dinosaurs like Ankylosaurus? And what if I told you that perhaps if Antarctica had not been frozen all those years ago, our own planet could look like that today? So let's play out this little thought experiment together. Let's take away the ice caps and freeze the frozen continent. Welcome to the channel. Hey, everyone, it's me and you're watching this channel. Today I want to explore a fun and interesting what-if question with you. What if Antarctica was a tropical jungle instead of an icy desert? This question popped into my head when I learned about a recent paper published by researchers from the University of North Florida who studied fossils found in the Seymour Island of Antarctica. They found out that around 90 million years ago, Antarctica was covered in forests. Back then Antarctica wasn't nearly as cold as it is today. So it was full of plants and animals you wouldn't expect to find there. There were large fern-like plants, conifer trees and even broad-leafed flowering trees. There were also fossils of insects like beetles and other arthropods. And the strangest discovery was finding fossils of freshwater fish like lungfish and crustaceans like crabs. Because these are animals that cannot survive in salt water and can only live in rivers, lakes, and ponds. But most surprising of all were the fossils of dinosaurs. The researchers found that 90 million years ago, Antarctica was home to early ancestors of Ankylosaurus. And considering that Ankylosaurus lived between 70 and 66 million years ago in what is now the southwestern United States, it means that Antarctica was still part of the supercontinent Gondwana 14 million years after the first ancestors of Ankylosaurus appeared. Alright, so Antarctica was not always the frozen desert we know today. But what if it never froze in the first place? What if Antarctica was a tropical jungle today? Well, here's the thing. Antarctica being an icy wasteland is one of the main reasons why our planet is habitable today. First off, the reason why the majority of the Earth is habitable and not frozen solid is because of the heat coming from the core. The inner and outer core of the Earth is liquid and it constantly churns, creating electric currents which generate heat. This heat makes the mantle less dense and it rises towards the surface near the poles. The heat is released through the crust and it warms the surface. Antarctica being frozen solid actually reflects a lot of that heat back into the atmosphere and prevents it from reaching the oceans. If Antarctica wasn't frozen, that heat would go straight into the ocean and warm the entire planet. In fact, the presence of the Antarctic ice sheets has kept the planet 3 to 6 degrees warmer than it would otherwise be. If Antarctica was a tropical rainforest instead of an icy desert, it would absorb even more heat from the planet and our Earth would be much, much warmer. According to one study, getting rid of the Antarctic ice sheets alone would raise global temperatures by 3 degrees Celsius. If Antarctica was also a tropical rainforest with trees and vegetation and a thick canopy, global temperatures would probably rise by 6 to 10 degrees Celsius. The second thing is that without the polar ice cap, the water from Antarctica and Greenland would flow into the ocean. Sea levels would rise by more than 60 meters or 200 feet. This would flood a big chunk of the world's mega cities like New York, Tokyo, and Amsterdam. Most coastal cities would be underwater. About 400 million people would be directly affected by this. And the third consequence would be changes to the global weather system. If the tropics extended farther south and heat was redistributed to higher latitudes, jet streams and ocean currents would change. Some regions would receive more rainfall while others would experience megadroughts. The frequency of extreme weather events like megacyclones and superstorms would increase. In short, if Antarctica was a tropical rainforest instead of an icy wasteland, the planet would be much warmer, the sea level would rise, and the global weather pattern would change. It would lead to extinction events across the globe, but life would probably still exist in some form or another. Then there's also the matter of biodiversity. Antarctica being a tropical rainforest would dramatically change the amount of biological diversity we have on our planet. Right now there is very little life on Antarctica. You know, a few types of algae, fungi, bacteria, single-celled organisms, lichens, mosses, 250 species of marine phytoplankton, 1,700 species of benthic invertebrates, 1,200 species of fish, 40 species of whales, dolphins and porpoises, 25 species of seals, and 7 species of seabirds. That's it. If Antarctica was a tropical rainforest instead of an icy wasteland, the continent would be teeming with life. There would be tropical rainforests just like in South America or Southeast Asia. There would be lush green jungles full of monkeys, toucans, snakes, spiders, jaguars, tree frogs, and all kinds of crazy insects. Without the harsh environment of the South Pole, a huge variety of insects would probably evolve, especially since during the Cretaceous period when Antarctica was still part of Gondwana, there were already lots of insects on the continent. Even mammals, including big ones, could live on Antarctica. Today there are no mammals living on Antarctica because it's too cold. But if it was a tropical jungle, we would probably see the evolution of giant anteaters, monkeys, sloths, tapirs, turtles, and many other forms of life. The problem though is that if Antarctica became a tropical jungle today, it would attract invasive species like rats, mice, snakes and cats from nearby South America. These invasive species would travel across the Drake Passage, probably via ships and planes, and they would destroy local species. Plus, many animals that migrate long distances would find their migration patterns completely disrupted. Many species would go extinct. In short, if Antarctica was a tropical jungle today, our planet would be a very different place biologically speaking. I think it's safe to say that if Antarctica was a tropical rainforest today, it would be one of the most biodiverse places on Earth. In the end, if Antarctica was a tropical rainforest instead of an icy desert, humans would probably build megacities and farms in the region and millions of people would move there. At the same time, hundreds of millions of people would be forced to flee their homes as rising sea levels would flood their countries. There would be major political tensions between nations over land, water, and food. New wars would be fought over Antarctica's natural resources. There would be climate refugees everywhere. Human civilization as we know it would collapse and a new one would emerge from the ashes. Then there's also the matter of scientific impact. Ice in Antarctica preserves a lot of important climate data. Scientists use ice cores from the continent to study past climates. They go deep into the ice sheets to extract samples of ancient ice and snow. This allows them to learn about the composition of the atmosphere going back thousands of years. It tells us about volcanic activity, greenhouse gas concentrations, and other things related to climate. If Antarctica didn't have any ice, scientists would lose access to this extremely valuable data. The same would happen with astronomy. Since the South Pole is so close to the center of the Earth and there is no atmosphere above it, it's one of the best places in the world to build telescopes. The continent is also used to study the Earth's magnetic field, the atmosphere, and the upper layers of the ocean. Getting rid of the ice in Antarctica would have a huge impact on climate, astronomy, and geology research. In short, if Antarctica was a tropical jungle instead of an icy desert, the world would be a very different place. All in all, it's quite amazing that our planet exists in such a delicate balance. All it takes is a tiny nudge and everything could change. Would we survive such a dramatic shift in the Earth's conditions? Or would we thrive in a jungle Earth? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and share it with a friend. Subscribe to this channel for more videos about nature and science. Have a great day and see you next time.